social change, addressing inequities and empowering voices. Chairman Alex Ndudi Enebele, FSM, President, Institute of Strategic Management of Nigeria, Chartered. Keynote speaker, Professor Armstrong Idachaba, Professor of Media and Broadcasting Communication. Panelist, Professor Chris Ochonogo, Immediate Past Head of Department, Journalism and Media Studies, University of Port Harcourt. Dr. Ijoma Tobosia, Secretary, NUJ, River State. Dr. Sarah Joe, University Orator and Associate Dean, Faculty of Communication and Media, River State University, Port Harcourt. Dr. Ibiere Koki, Ignatius Aju University of Education, Rumolomini, Port Harcourt. Chief Host, Dr. Chinyere Igwe, Esquire, Chairman, Morrison Group. Date, Tuesday, 10th March 2026. Venue, Gate Place Hotel, Kilometer 5, East West Road, adjacent Obirikwere Flyover, Rumosi, Port Harcourt. Time, 10 a.m. For more information, please call Kainde Paul Obofade, 081-063-41777 or Samuel Ajinwo at 090-454-00744. Signed, Management.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the world. Stay focused on the fact today. On 18.
These people into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human trafficker.
Honorable They are not picking our calls.
This is Atlantic Television Network. Welcome to Global News. First, the highlights. Beach Harcourt hosts Blue Economic Party in River State. Tinubu orders Gas Command Center implementation. Senate plans to create Forfeited Assets Management Agency. Federal government commissions CNG station to boost domestic supply. Iranian drone strike destroys largest refinery in Saudi Arabia. FIFA president advises players on racism allegations. K. Baba fixes 2026 comedy show April 6 in Port Harcourt. Beach Harcourt Social Club held an event titled Blue Economy at Rundele Beach in Emoha local government area, River State. ATN News completes the report.
President, Beach Harcourt Social Club Waterbury Pikima has stated that River State is blessed with beautiful waterfronts, yet the state lacks beach resorts and water leisure centers. Waterbury Pikima made the comment when Beach Harcourt Social Club held an event titled Blue Economy at Rundele Beach in Emoha local government area, River State, aimed at promoting tourism, recreation and sustainable coastal development. He explained that the Blue Economy focuses on wealth generation from the ocean and coast, including fishery, aquaculture, underwater mining, and eco-friendly tourism, emphasizing sustainability and minimal environmental impact.
We have a lot of beautiful waterfronts around River State, yet we have no beach resorts. We don't have any established waterfront leisure centers. Here to call River State. We decided to do this Blue Economy Party to educate people on what the Blue Economy is all about.
Mr. Waterbury Pikima praised the private owner of the venue for creating a lush garden that blends beautifully with the beach, noting that despite challenges in security and infrastructure, the resort has become a perfect destination for recreation and feature events like weddings. He added that Ndele Beach Resort has the potential to become a major tourist hub in River State.
The official color of River State is blue. So long before the world had been talking about the blue economy, River State had already identified with the color blue. And we're giving that color blue because of the oceans, because of the sea and the waters around us. Now it brings us back to the theme of the party. The blue economy. The blue economy is very simple. It's about wealth generated from the ocean and the coast. We're talking about fishery, aquaculture.
Dignitaries at the event included Mrs. Vivian Obiageri Amadi, Vice Chairman of Emoha Local Government Area, who represented the Chairman of Emoha Local Government Area. In her speech, she extended the greetings of the Local Government Area Chairman. She thanked the organizers and commissioned the beach on behalf of the Local Government Area Chairman.
Vice Chairman of Emoha Local Government Area, standing here on behalf of my able Chairman, my capacity chairman, my boss, in whom I am well pleased, the boss that knows what it is to take care of his people. He has said I should come to represent him and then to extend his greetings to the blue economy. I want to thank each and every one of you who has found it necessary to be here today. This is the first in the history of its kind that we are having this kind of thing in Emoha local government area. I want to really appreciate the community of Rundele Aba, who has made it possible for us to be here, security-wise and otherwise.
Some community leaders, councillors, and attendees expressed excitement about the event. They highlighted the roles in promoting tourism, creating awareness about the blue economy, and providing a space for leisure and recreation. Attendees expressed hope for more events to be held at the beach in the future.
I'm sure that a lot of people do not know that in Abandele here, that we have such, a beautiful, well laid out, environment, that could actually host a beach party. And I want to believe that a lot of persons will be looking forward, to coming down here to spend holidays.
This is a lovely beach, be organized by the Blue Economy Party. And as you can see, what we are seeing here is things of the nature, trying to promote the African culture, trying to promote our own. We are being so irritated by things happening around us, but once in a while, it's good for us to go back home and visit our grassroots and others. So the Blue Economy, they are trying to encourage the grassroots Yes.
Bichakot Club has put this together. We've come here to network, we've come here to have fun, we've come here to show to the world that we have a beautiful waterfront where we could actually develop for beautiful tourism adventure. I feel so elated to be here today. I mean, journeying down all the way from Port Harcourt City to Delhi has been so purposeful. Yeah, it was quite an experience indeed.
Water have brought back the beach, which Urundele used to see before. This beach is not for only Urundele people, it's for entire River State and our local government.
Okay, it's a serene environment, very cozy. You can see that we are inclined with the nature, and I love it so much because it's very peaceful and it's natural. Above it is a natural beach, and as you can see, everywhere is cool and nice, so I love it.
We are here to party, we are here to have fun, meet new people, connect.
We came here courtesy Bishakot Club to have fun. As you can see, we're enjoying ourselves, enjoying the ambience, the environment. It's all about fun anyway. We came here to have fun.
Very excited to be here because one thing Bishakot is trying to preach to the world, to Africans, to Nigerians, is that Port Harcourt is a tourist place, it's a place and it's peaceful. And so that's why we decided to take this as an exercise to show to well-meaning Nigerians.
I am Grace Nicholas, Atlantic Television Network, Port Harcourt.
Operatives of the CP Special Assignment Team of the Delta State Police Command, under the leadership of CP Aina Adeshola, have dismantled a kidnap syndicate in the bush along the Iyede axis of Ughelli North local government area. And the operational breakthrough came as part of the command's ongoing fight against crime and criminality. According to the State Police Command spokesman, SP Bright Edafe, 3 suspected kidnappers handed over by the area commander, Ughelli, we are thoroughly interrogated by CPSAT's operatives following operations in Ughelli and neighboring communities. A statement signed by the police public relations officer in Warri said the suspect subsequently provided useful information that led to further recoveries, and the suspect was promptly arrested and the investigation is ongoing. The State Commissioner of Police CP Aina Adeshola commended the gallantry, discipline and professionalism of the operatives involved in the operations. Members of the Southwest leadership of the Islamic movement in Nigeria staged a peaceful protest in Lagos State denouncing the death of Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei following the airstrikes by the United States and Israel. The protest, which took place in the early hours of Monday, follows similar demonstrations in Kano State on Sunday, and demonstrators marched through parts of the Maryland axis carrying placards and banners denouncing what they described as an invasion of Iran, and they targeted the assassination of the long-serving Iranian leader, including chants and slogans expressing solidarity with Iran and strong opposition to the actions of the United States and Israel. Southwest coordinator of IMN, Muftar Zakaria, said the protest was organized to express their concern about what he called sustained invasions of sovereign nations by the United States administration, citing Venezuela as a recent example of foreign interference. He also said heightened and sustained attacks in Kwara State followed what he described as U.S. involvement in the country's affairs, stressing that the protest would remain peaceful and will be sustained across the region. All Progressives Congress Lagos State chapter has said the 2026 State Congress will hold on Tuesday, March 3. According to a notice issued on Monday by the chairman, Lagos State Congress Committee, the Congress is scheduled to take place at the Mombolaji Johnson Stadium, formerly Onikon Stadium, Lagos Island, by 10 a.m. in pursuant to the provisions of Article 12.8 of the party's constitution. The party listed those qualified to attend the Congress to include members of the State Advisory Council, the State Chairman and members of the State Executive Committee, the State Governor and Deputy Governor who are members of the party, and all serving and past members of the National Assembly from the state who are members of the party. Others are members of the National Executive Committee from the state. serving and past members of the State House of Assembly who are party members, elected local government chairman and deputy chairman, and all elected councillors across the 245 wards in the state who are members of the party. The notice also included chairmen and secretaries of the party in all local government areas, 5 delegates per ward elected at the World Congress, and members of the Zonal Executive Committee from the state. The Lagos State Ministry of Transportation has issued its traffic advisories for motorists ahead of the planned reconstruction along the Super Ilepo axis of the Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway and Oba Ogunji Road in the Bega area of the state. A statement signed by the Commissioner for Transportation, Oluwaseun Oshiyemi, said the reconstruction on the Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway will take place on the main carriageway from the Super Bus Stop to Ilepo Bus Stop between March 7 and May 30, 2026, and the section of the expressway will be closed to traffic for the duration of the reconstruction. He declared alternative routes for motorists who may be affected by the reconstruction along the corridor, added that the government had finalized plans to upgrade the 9-kilometer dual carriage corridor between Ojodu Bega Bus Stop and Mobile Filling Station Junction. Midstream and Downstream Gas Infrastructure Fund has commissioned an integrated compressed natural gas refueling facility at Obafemi Awolowo University in what stakeholders described as a strategic step to embed Nigeria's gas transition agenda within federal universities. The project, unveiled in Ile-Ife, Osun State, is part of a broader initiative to deploy CNG infrastructure across 20 federal universities nationwide through equity partnership with private investors. A statement by the Executive Director of MDGIF, Oluwole Adama, described the project as more than a campus transport solution, calling it a practical demonstration of Nigeria's gas-based energy transition, adding that the OAU facility is one of 20 CNG refueling infrastructure projects being supported across federal universities in partnership with Femadec Energy Limited. The Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Adebayo Simeon Bamire, said the initiative would transform the institution into a living laboratory for alternative fuel research and innovation, and the facility will support engineering, environmental science, and energy policy research within the institution. The development comes amid intensified efforts by the federal government to expand domestic gas utilization following the removal of petrol subsidy in 2023, while Nigeria, which holds one of Africa's largest proven gas reserves, has long struggled with the limited domestic gas infrastructure despite being a major exporter of liquefied natural gas. Ondo State Police Command has confirmed the arrest of one suspect in connection with the killing of a youth leader in Iswa Akoko, headquarters of Akoko Southeast local government area of Ondo State. The victim, Ojo Abe, popularly known as Obeshere, was allegedly abducted by gunmen while returning to the community from Edo State. A resident identified simply as Tunji said the incident was reported to the police shortly after the abduction. He added that community youths, in collaboration with local hunters, organized search parties and combed the surrounding bushes in an effort to rescue the victim. Confirming the development in a statement, the police public relations officer in the state, Abayomi Jimo, said one suspect had been arrested and is assisting investigators, while the Commissioner of Police in the state, Adebowale Lawal, had ordered intensified surveillance and strategic deployments across the affected area. Suspected bandits attacked Gada Oli, a border community in Kayama local government area of Kwara State, have allegedly looted shops including outlets selling food items and mobile phones. Confirming the incident, the special assistant on media to the chairman of Kayama local government area, Zulkar Kanen Sheru Musa, said the attackers invaded the community near the border with Niger State, and the government deliberately fired into the air to scare villagers and disperse them before carrying out the operation. Eyewitnesses also said the assailants, who came on motorcycles in large numbers, looted several shops after residents fled for safety, particularly targeting phone stores and provision outlets, while residents of Kayama and surrounding communities continue to express anxiety over recurring security threats and further called for a sustained and permanent security presence to prevent further attacks and restore confidence in the area. Kano State Police Command has suspended the annual Tashe performance usually held during Ramadan certain security tensions. It's a statement by the police public relations officer CSP Abdullahi Haruna Kiyawa. The command reiterated the 8th commitment to maintaining public safety and order throughout the holy month, adding that the decision was taken in liaison with the Kano State government to prevent criminals from exploiting the event to perpetrate crimes including thuggery, handset snatching and drug abuse. The Commissioner of Police Ibrahim Bakori urged parents and guardians to caution their children and warned against acts capable of breaching law and order, and further assured residents that proactive steps had been taken to curb criminal activities during Ramadan and wish the people of Kano State a peaceful and successful fasting period. Nigerian Air Force under the Joint Task Force of Operation Hadenkai conducted an intelligence-driven air interdiction mission against terrorist elements in the Uwe General area of the Sambisa axis in Borno State. The early morning operation, according to the service, followed confirmatory intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance that identified structures used as terrorist commanders' hideouts and logistics warehouses. A statement released on Monday by the Nigerian Air Force spokesman, Air Commodore Ehimen Ejodame, said post-strike assessments supported by intelligence sources confirmed the neutralization of several high-value operatives, including senior commanders and fighters coordinating activities within the theater. He said the strikes disrupted the terrorists' command and control structure and degraded their logistics network, limiting their operational capacity in the area. Commenting on the operation, the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Sunday Aneke, commended the professionalism and combat efficiency of the air crew and supporting personnel, and also reaffirmed the Nigerian Air Force unwavering resolve to deny terrorists any sanctuary within the country. You're watching the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. We'll be back after this break. Welcome back. This is the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. And now to the rest of our stories. President Bola Tinubu has directed the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission to guide the implementation of the federal government's National Gas Infrastructure Command Center strictly under a public-private partnership framework with zero public funding and no contingent liability to government. The Director General of the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission, Dr. Jobson Ewalefo, disclosed this at the inaugural meeting of the Project Steering Committee for the NGCC, stressing that the Commission would ensure strict adherence to the terms of the presidential approval and lay down public-private partnership procedures. A statement issued on Monday by the head of media and publicity, Ifeanyi Nwoko, said it is designed as a strategic national platform for real-time monitoring and coordination of Nigeria's gas infrastructure and must be fully funded by the private proponent without recourse to public funds or sovereign guarantees. He said the President's directive reflects a clear commitment to fiscal discipline, private sector-led infrastructure delivery, and protection of public resources, adding that the NGCC is of significant strategic importance to Nigeria's energy architecture, while its importance does not override the need for disciplined project preparation and strict adherence to regulatory safeguards. This is coming after the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources Gas, Senator Ekperikpe Ekpo, inaugurated the Project Steering Committee and the Joint Technical Working Group to drive implementation of the initiative in alignment with the presidential directive, while members of the Project Steering Committee include representatives of the Ministry of Petroleum Resources Gas, the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission, and the project promoter. Chairman of the Senate Committee on Northwest Development Commission, NWDC, Senator Babangida Hossaini, has decried the non-release of funds allocated to the commission, warning that the development has worsened insecurity, poverty, and environmental degradation across the region. Speaking during the 2026 budget in defense before the Senate Committee on Appropriation, Hossaini described the Northwest as a very sorry story, adding that despite the 145 billion naira allocation in 2025 for the takeoff of the commission, no funds were released.
Permit me, Mr. Chairman, to mention that the Northwest Development Commission and the Northwest region as a whole, Mr. Chairman, is quite a very sorry story to tell. Multidimensional poverty, out-of-school children, environmental challenges, poor and broken infrastructure, and above all, security challenges. Recall that this zone represents about a quarter of the national population. Our 60 million Nigerians inhabit this zone, comprising of 7 states.
Responding, the Vice Chairman of the Senate Committee on Appropriation, Senator Tahe Monguno, who stood in for the Chairman, Senator Olamilekon Adola, acknowledged the widespread complaints by ministries, departments, and agencies over the non-release of the 2025 capital component. He criticized the current envelope-based budgeting system, describing it as a major impediment to effective national planning.
Earlier on, the major problem we have with regard to our budgetary system is this issue of envelope-based budgeting. It is high time we revert back to priority-based budgeting so that our budget will be in consonance or in tandem with the realities of the developmental aspirations of the government in power, rather than spreading our scarce resources thinly, and at the end of the day, though we have spent a lot of resources, but we have not achieved anything. So if we continue to do that, it's like we are appropriating and reprobating at the same time. So there is a need for us to consider that as a committee, since the power of appropriation is vested in the National Assembly. It's the National Assembly that appropriates. The power of oversight is also vested in the National Assembly as per Section 88 and 89 of the 1999 Constitution as amended.
The committee assured that it would consider the submissions and challenges raised as part of its review of the 2026 budget proposals. Senate has advanced a bill seeking to amend the Proceeds of Crime Act by establishing a central agency to manage and dispose of assets suspected to have been derived from unlawful activities, and the proposed legislation is sponsored by Senator Idiyat Adebole. Declaring the public hearing open, the Senate Chief Whip, Senator Taher Monguno, who represented the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, said the 10th Senate remains committed to strengthening transparency and accountability in the management of forfeited assets. He said the amendment is aimed at addressing gaps in the current legal framework and ensuring that asset recovery processes are in line with constitutional provisions and global best practices. In his submission, the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi San said the existing Proceeds of Crime Act 2022 adopted a multi-agency framework which mandates each relevant agency to establish its own Proceeds of Crime Management Directorate. According to him, the decentralized model has proven inadequate for effective transfer, coordination and management of forfeited assets, thereby necessitating the proposed amendment to create a centralized structure. Also speaking at the hearing, the Attorney General of Lagos State, Lawal Pedro San, called for clearer delineation of the role of the Nigeria Police Force in enforcement. He said he proposed the establishment of a special police unit to oversee enforcement under the supervision of the state judiciary. The report of the public hearing will be submitted to the Senate by the chairman of the Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters, Senator Ayo Adegbon Mire, for further legislative scrutiny. As part of efforts to regulate fintech operations in the country, the House of Representatives has organized a one-day public hearing on the bill to establish a regulatory body known as Nigerian Fintech Regulatory Commission. The hearing, organized by its joint committees on digital and electronic banking, banking regulations, science and technology, communications and capital markets and institutions in Abuja. Declaring open the hearing, Speaker of the House of Representatives Abbas Tajuddin, represented by Honorable Adebayo Adeboju, said the bill will address duplication, overlapping in the sector, and all stakeholders to be mindful of coming up with a clear guideline, adding that the Commission will act as a statutory body that will oversee licensing, regulate and supervise fintech services, and replace the existing multi-regulatory approach with a one-stop model.
This hearing marks a significant step in the effort to position Nigeria as a leading financial technology hub in Africa and a major player in the global fintech industry. In the last few years, our country has seen consistent growth and innovations in digital payments, blockchain technology, digital assets, crowdfunding, and other forms of embedded finance. Fintech has therefore become a major tool for advancing financial inclusion in a country with one of the largest unbanked populations in the world. It has created thousands of new jobs for our youths, brought in appreciable investments, and supported small and medium enterprises in line with President Tinubu's renewed hope agenda for inclusive growth. Sadly, regulation has not been able to keep pace with the speed of innovation in this sector. The absence of a single coordinated framework for fintech oversight has led to fragmented regulations, compliance difficulties, and general uncertainties for investors and consumers alike. It therefore becomes necessary to establish a commission that will act as the coordinating body and eliminate duplication, streamline processes, and remove the barriers that stifle innovation.
The lead chairman of the committee, Honorable Emmanuel Ubong Odom, also said the committee has received over 40 memoranda from stakeholders regarding the bill.
The House firmly believes that effective legislation must be shaped by robust stakeholders' engagement. That's why we are all here today. This public hearing provides a vital platform for regulators, fintechs, operators, deposit money banks, payment service providers, consumer advocacy groups, cybersecurity experts, academia and development partners to present evidence-based submissions and practical recommendations to this honorable committee. Your insights will guide the refinement of this bill to ensure that it is implementable, inclusive, and responsive to the realities of the market.
To enhance businesses and operational activities of fintech operators and service providers in Nigeria. Nigeria has no single regulatory authority regulating businesses, practices, and operations of fintech operators and service providers, despite the impact on national growth and development. Creation of this regulatory commission will enhance profitability of fintech businesses and security of fintech users.
Stakeholders at the hearing who gave their support to the bill advised that the issue of duplication and function and overlapping should be looked into, especially as the sector is currently being regulated by the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN.
To allow CBN to strengthen those departments in CBN that are carrying out this mandate, and also if the bill will actually finally go through, and we suggest it should be like an interagency, a council or a commission, where the existing regulators are able to have one common body that will be able to assess what is happening within the fintech space, rather than have another commission that will handle licensing, supervision, regulation, and other activities. Also, if you look at the definition of fintech in the bill, is bogus. So the last speaker also made mention of it. There is a need for us to be specific, because today, if you look at all the financial players in the industry, they all make use of technology to carry out their services, which the former speaker rightly defined. There are those that provide infrastructural service. There are those that use infrastructure or technology to enable their services, like banks, deposit-taking institutions. So if we are focusing strictly on those that provide infrastructure, meaning those back-end activities that users don't see, then the bill should be able to define that who are those players in the fintech that will fall under this particular commission, so that there won't be an issue of finding it difficult to understand.
First Lady of Nigeria, Oluremi Tinubu, has charged members of the National Assembly to recognize that beyond their constitutional mandate to legislate for over 200 million Nigerians, they remain ultimately accountable to God for every decision they take and every law they enact, and should therefore remain transparent and accountable leadership. She gave the admonition at the dedication and commissioning of the National Assembly Chapel built by the National Assembly Christian Legislators Fellowship within the precincts of the Federal Legislature in Abuja, a project first conceived during the 6th Assembly and whose foundation was laid in the 8th Assembly by former Speaker Yakubu Dogara, but left uncompleted until now. Addressing lawmakers, clergy, and senior government officials at the ceremony, the First Lady described the occasion as deeply personal and historic. According to her, the chapel stands as a solemn reminder that while lawmakers represent the people and exercise constitutional authority, they are ultimately accountable to a higher divine authority.
This chapel stands as a testament that while we legislate for the people, we ultimately remain accountable to God. Today, I pray the prayer of King Solomon during the dedication of the temple he built for God in 2 Chronicles, chapter 6, verses 39 to 40, from the Life Application Study Bible. Then hear our prayers and our petitions from heaven, where you live, and uphold our cause. Forgive your people who have sinned against you. Oh my God, may your eyes be open and give ears attentive to the prayers made to you in this place. In the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. This is the Lord's response to our prayer in 2 Chronicles 7, 15 to 16. As we dedicate this chapel today, may it inspire humility in leadership, courage in decision-making, and compassion in service. And may Nigeria continue to flourish as we collectively seek the face of God in worship and prayer in this chapel in Jesus' name. Amen.
In his remarks, President of the Nigerian Senate, Godswill Akpabio, said the commissioning signified more than the unveiling of a physical structure, describing it as a spiritual milestone for Nigeria's democracy, good governance, and called on conscience and guided by divine wisdom. Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Carlo, said the chapel presents a declaration that lawmakers do not legislate alone, but exist under the sovereign authority of God.
Knowing that while men legislate for a season, God legislates for eternity. And unless the laws of men reflect the justice of God, they may command obedience, but they will never command reverence nor shape the destiny of humanity. Let us therefore bow before the supreme lawgiver, and one whose statutes do not expire, whose judgments do not err, and whose authority no power on earth can overrule. In dedicating this chapel, therefore, to the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, we affirm that lawmaking must be guided by conscience, anchored in righteousness, and inspired by prayers.
As we make laws for over 200 million Nigerians, we do not do so alone. We do so in the presence of the Almighty, under whose sovereign authority every human institution exists. The Christian Legislators Fellowship has long been a conscience within this legislature, in chambers where debate can become combative and politics can become consuming. The Fellowship has kept alive the reminder that we are first and foremost accountable to the higher calling.
Former head of state, Yakubu Gowon, urged lawmakers to prioritize national unity in their legislative responsibilities, reminding them of the sacrifices made to preserve Nigeria's oneness. He expressed hope that the chapel would rekindle a renewed commitment to unity, love, and national cohesion among political leaders. Federal government has commenced the implementation of Executive Order 9 of 2006, which mandates the direct remittance of oil revenues to the Federation Accounts Allocation Committee. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, who disclosed this in a statement issued on Monday detailing key resolutions reached at the meeting, said the decision followed the directive of President Bola Tinubu on the remittance to the FAAC at the inaugural meeting of the Implementation Committee for the Executive Order. Edun said the committee reaffirmed the President's directive that revenues accruing to the Federation from petroleum operations must be managed in line with constitutional provisions and in a way that safeguards funds meant for the three tiers of government, stressing that on Section 2, Subsection 3 of the order, it provides for direct payments by contractors into the Federation account. While the committee agreed that the transition must respect existing contractual and financing arrangements while maintaining investor confidence. He further said the committee approved the establishment of a technical subcommittee to develop detailed transition guidelines within 3 weeks and to commence a review of the Petroleum Industry Act to address structural and fiscal anomalies affecting Federation revenues. The minister further said the committee would continue to provide coordinated guidance and timely updates as implementation progresses, and also commended stakeholders for their cooperation in ensuring that Nigeria's petroleum resources deliver measurable benefits to citizens across the Federation. Oh Lord. And now to some business news. Federal government has commissioned an integrated compressed natural gas (CNG) refueling station at Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Osun State, as part of efforts to strengthen the domestic gas supply and promote cleaner energy alternatives. Speaking at the inauguration, the executive director of the Midstream and Downstream Gas Infrastructure Fund, Oluwole Adama, described the move as a major step forward toward advancing Nigeria's gas-powered energy transition, adding that the facility goes beyond being just a refueling station, adding that it reflects progress, collaboration, and commitment to the expanding domestic gas utilization in line with national energy goals. On his part, the Vice Chancellor of Obafemi Awolowo University, Professor Adebayo Simeon Bamire, praised the initiative, saying the facility will serve both the university community and residents of the surrounding area, stressing that the project would create opportunities for research, hands-on learning, and innovation in alternative energy solutions. Global oil prices rose as Iran continues to launch strikes across the Middle East in response to ongoing attacks by the US and Israel. Brent crude, the global benchmark for oil prices, jumped by 10% to touch more than $82 a barrel on Monday, before easing after at least 3 ships were attacked near the Strait of Hormuz at the weekend. Iran has warned vessels not to pass through the crucial waterway in the south of the country, through which about 20% of the world's oil and gas is shipped, while in London, the FTSE 100 stock market index opened nearly 1% down, with airlines seeing their shares prices fall after airspace was closed across the Middle East. International shipping has almost come to a standstill at the entrance to the Strait of Hormuz, with analysts warning that the prolonged conflict could push energy prices even higher. The pace of inflation has been easing in the UK, leading to the Bank of England cutting interests. Now to some international tidbits. Saudi Arabia's largest oil refinery in the Saudi Aramco facility in Ras Tanura has gone up in flames after being hit by an Iranian drone on Monday. The incident prompted the closure of the facility of the refinery, which has a processing capacity of about 550,000 barrels per day, caught fire after a section of the plant was affected during the incident. Saudi Arabia's defense ministry confirmed that drones launched from Iran targeted the facility. Meanwhile, Saudi Aramco decided to shut down operations at the refinery as a precautionary measure amid escalating tensions in the Middle East, while multiple countries across the Middle East have witnessed escalating hostilities, with fears growing over a broader regional conflict. About 4 United States soldiers have lost their lives in retaliatory strikes by Iran, while President Donald Trump has vowed to retaliate for the deaths of American personnel following the joint U.S.-Israeli operations against Iran. The U.S. Central Command, CENTCOM, in a statement posted on its X account on Monday, said the identities of the deceased will remain undisclosed until their families have been notified. CENTCOM also said 4 U.S. service members were earlier confirmed killed in the action, adding that the 4th individual, who sustained serious injuries from Iran's initial attacks, ultimately succumbed to the wounds. Here now is ATN Sports News. Excuse me. Family of Ihotu John Rebecca, a Nigerian female footballer kidnapped on the Benin Expressway, has called on well-meaning Nigerians to come to their aid as the abductors of their daughter are asking for a 20 million naira ransom. Ihotu John Rebecca, a young Nigerian female footballer who currently plays for Pesita Queens FC in the NWFL Premiership, was kidnapped along the Benin Expressway while returning home. This is a young woman who has dedicated her life to representing Nigerian women's football at the highest domestic level, and she's in danger and time is critical. FIFA President Gianni Infantino says players who cover their mouths while talking to opponents could be sent off in light of racism allegations against Benfica's Gianluca Prestiani. This is coming after Argentina's Prestiani was accused of racially abusing Real Madrid forward Vinicius Jr. during the Champions League game last month while covering his mouth with his shirt. The issue was brought up at Saturday's meeting of the International Football Association Board, and the next FIFA Congress will be held next month in Vancouver, where football's governing body could decide to implement measures to stop players covering their mouths at this year's World Cup. Infantino also floated the possibility of different punishments for racist abuse depending on whether or not the guilty player publicly apologizes. And now entertainment news. Gospel singer Boshola Oke has opened up about her battle with depression and severe financial hardship, revealing that she resorted to antidepressants at the lowest points of her struggles. The singer said hunger and frustration pushed her to go live on TikTok, and she had been pretending to be fine while quietly battling hardship. Oke also said she was unable to pay her 1 million naira rent last September because she was struggling to feed. Veteran Port Harcourt-based comedian K.O. Baba Johnson has advised entertainers and comedians in Port Harcourt not to be distracted with the noise of relocating to Lagos State to boost their comedy and entertainment career, adding that opportunities can still thrive in Port Harcourt. Mr. Johnson K.O. Baba gave the advice while unveiling his 2026 comedy show titled Mayor and the 12 Kings. The event is slated to hold on the 6th of April 2026 at the EUI Event Center, Abacha Road, GRA, Port Harcourt, River State.
I think that's the reality on ground, but for me it's a fallacy because I think the emphasis on blue is too much. I think growing is more important than blowing for people like me. So we stay in Port Harcourt and we still have to be sending friends and colleagues who left Port Harcourt to Lagos money to feed after many years. Even the ones who left their city to Lagos, who are in Lagos, not trying to fight anybody, but the reality is that digitalization has made it possible for anybody to get big from any sport. And most times your market is, like for me as a person, my market in Port Harcourt is too huge. When I mean too huge, I can fill up a hall and see a hall like EUI easy.
Remembering his journey in the entertainment industry, his impact in curbing insecurity, boosting the economy and other humanitarian services, Mr. Johnson K.O. Baba called on River State government to support the entertainment industry. He also took turns in thanking and commending the headline sponsors of the forthcoming event.
Because we've worked hard, because we've done a lot within our capacity, I'm blessed to have organizations always come out to see how they can support. And as for us in this part of the world, I want to encourage organizations, please don't deny of the privilege of any your sponsorship. It's important. I wish I have a lot of my colleagues get into that space where they enjoy the level of corporate sponsorship that I enjoy. And I know it is because of how much we built this brand. I'm going to start by announcing our official airline partners. If you want to come for the mayor of Pisapa from Lagos, from Abuja, for any state during the Easter, we can make that we have an arrangement for you where our official airline partners.
Some of the headline sponsors of the event, including Joseph DK and MC Mudraga, also spoke on why they chose to partner with K.O. Baba. Thereafter, convener of the event
is a construction company that has delved into oil and gas, and by the grace of God, we're doing a lot of things as regards NDT and fabrication. And then As per construction, we've been in construction for the past 10 years. Yeah, thereabouts. And by the grace of God, God has been faithful. We've had over 5,000 man work without any casualty, because we take HSE very, very important. And then, aside from Ego Base, we have the Royal Gate Foundation, which focuses on majorly on human capital development, which we've really been invested in, and by God's grace, we've been able to touch over 1,000 lives in the short period that the foundation was registered.
I've been of tremendous help to this brand. Well, on a more serious note, I want to officially welcome everyone to the Mayor of Takwa 2026, the Mayor and the 12 Kings. You see, the Mayor of Takwa is no more a comedy show. It's not just a comedy show like Phil earlier said. I think it's now a festival. The Mayor of Takwa is a comedy festival. Because you see, even when people are inside the hall, laughing and enjoying themselves, you see, there are some set of people that just come and they just want to be outside, networking. And I don't know how it does it. It keeps sound there. People are dancing, having fun, buying things. So
thereafter, convener of the event unveiled the 12 kings that will be performing at the event. The 12 kings are notable comedians drawn from different states in Nigeria, including MC Monica, Edo Pikin, Koboko, amongst others.
Here for making it so easy. Remember, Edo Pikin would say, talk how much you want. I said, please, how much I will pay you. You say, Baba, how much you want to pay. Talk with it, you send it. And Koboko would say, Koboko will say somebody like this is not supposed to be asking up me what you do me. Because in the words of Koboko, you follow for people when it contributes to the industry, do quality things, everybody will help us in our respect. So in no particular order, coming from Abuja for this 12 kings is my colleague, Koboko Master. Please, if your hands are not busy, you can just put your hands together for Koboko Master. Now, some people don't know, Koboko and Edo Pikin, they are siblings. Yes, now the same mama, papa, and born them. And the family of comedians. And of course,
so why are they kings from different states?
They are kings from different states because Koboko base is based in Lagos. Edo Pikin, Abuja. Edo Pikin, even if it's based in Lagos now, himself, casino,
And that's the global news for tonight. Before we go, another look at our major stories. Beach Court hosts Blue Economy Party in River State. Tinubu orders Gas Command Center implementation. Senate plans to create Forfeited Assets Management Agency. Federal government commissions CNG station to boost domestic supply. Iranian drone strike destroys largest refinery in Saudi Arabia. And FIFA president advises players on racism allegations. KO Baba fixes 2026 comedy show April 6 in Port Harcourt. I am Favor Chikwes Michael. Thank you for watching. You can follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter now X at Atlantic TV Net, on Facebook and YouTube at Atlantic Television Network, and on Instagram at Atlantic TV Network. And don't forget, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Do have a wonderful night rest.
The board, management, and staff of Morrison Media Group presents the 2026 anniversary celebration lecture of Morrison Media Group. Theme: Media's role in shaping social change, addressing inequities, and empowering voices. Chairman Alex Ndudi Enebele, FSM, President, Institute of Strategic Management of Nigeria, Chartered. Keynote speaker, Professor Armstrong Idachaba, Professor of Media and Broadcasting Communication. Panelist, Professor Chris Ochonogo, Immediate Past Head of Department, Journalism and Media Studies, University of Port Harcourt. Dr. Ijoma Tobosia, Secretary, NUJ, River State. Dr. Sarah Joe, University Orator and Associate Dean, Faculty of Communication and Media, River State University, Port Harcourt. Dr. Ibiere Koki,
Ignatius Aju University of Education, Rumolomini, Port Harcourt. Chief host, Dr. Chinyere Igwe, Esquire, Chairman, Morrison Group. Date, Tuesday, 10th March 2026. Venue, Gate Place Hotel, Kilometer 5, East West Road, adjacent Obirikwere Flyover, Rumosi, Port Harcourt. Time, 10 a.m. For more information, please call Kainde Paul Obofade, 081-063-41777 or Samuel Ajinwo at 090-454-00744. Signed, Management.